Ahoy hoy, I'm Planarwalk, and welcome to the Ask Us Anything. We're joined with Conspiracy Catz and Fight the Flat Earth today, so let me just unmute them and... How's it going?
It's going good, mate. Yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
So, today it's an Ask Us Anything. We'll be responding to... Oh, jeez, I just realised something.
So that's me.
I didn't realise that I had that open on my other computer. Alright, I'm back. So, yeah, as I've said, silly questions will be given silly answers, so, you know, ask us as many of them as you'd like. And I do want to preempt a couple of questions, if that's okay. So, the first question I'm going to preempt, the answer is 6 inches. And, well...
You been speaking to my wife, or...?
Well, I could have gone for a 12-inch, but, you know, it's...
Oh. Hey, Simon, Dan, and Creaky in the chat. How you doing, guys?
Oh yeah, hey guys, how you doing? MCToon as well.
Yeah, we've got a whole lot of people here.
Yeah, MCToon was in the stream with Reds last night as well, and kind of had it out with Fat Out Hero.
Anywho, let me bring up the thing here. Okay, so is there any questions that you two want to preempt?
Well, the Earth isn't flat.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
That's usually the biggest question that we get, and the Earth definitely isn't flat. So, yeah, that one's covered.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I'll think of one or two actually. Just yeah, give us 30 seconds. I've got a few that I get asked quite a lot. So, yeah, give us a second and one will come to me.
Yeah, I'll just.
So, who have we got in the chat there?
I know that we've got Creaky Blinder. We've got Simon Dan.
MCToon, Darth Killer, Anti-Flatter. Apparently, I look like Robocop. Sorry, what was that, Catz?
I was gonna say I've got. Well, actually, I've just seen Simon Dan flash up in the chat. He says he's got a question.
Well, go on then, Simon. Well, I'll answer Darth Killers quickly. The Earth is not a banana. Definitely not.
Okay. So, I'll start answering a few questions now. So we've got some, I can't remember who it was, asked, what's the distance between your butt front and back? And I honestly don't know. I'd need to know how to convert meters to kilometers to answer that, so...
Don't you times by million or something?
Yes, something like that. It's a really difficult question.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I try to answer it, I just get like a slapping sound in my head.
Well, that's fair enough. So...
Simon Dan says, Conspiracy Catz, how did Blackburn get on today?
All I'm going to say is this isn't a football stream. Thanks, Dan. Brilliant. Yeah, not very well.
And Gustava Kitosksia 703 says, I got a question. What do you think about the Anunnaki? Does any of you know what's that?
I think Anunnaki is one of the alien races that is in one of these conspiracies. They're one of the alien races that's supposed to be in dominion over us or something.
Okay.
Yeah, there's supposed to be 4, isn't there? Some people say is there like 4 different races of alien all looking over us.
2 kind of humanoid grey ones, the reptilians, and some other thing.
Yeah.
Jared from HTT Productions just wants to say orthogonal to me. I've got a headache now. Thanks.
What was the whole orthogonal thing from?
I debated the mind of God on Non Sequitur show, and basically he is trying to say that gravity should be, when you look at the vectors, you should have to apply orthogonality to it, but that only really applies to something when you're trying to do signal processing, like in electronics, computer programming and stuff. It's not applicable to the equation for gravity in any way, shape, or form, because it's an attractive force, not a compressing or a compounding force. But he just wouldn't let it go. So he literally said the word orthogonal about 1 million times during our debate.
790 asks, how many prostitute corpses are buried under Dell's shed?
I wouldn't like to even hazard a guess.
I mean,
legal reasons, I'm going to say none.
What was that, Conspiracy Cats?
Say for legal reasons, we'll say none.
Yeah, that's probably a good answer.
I know he's streaming now. Should we? He has a phone, doesn't he? That you can phone up his number and speak to him. Like if anyone can get that phone number in the chat, it'd be brilliant if we could phone him up now and say hello.
Oh my goodness me! Like I live in Scotland, and I'm genuinely like concerned that I'm going to find him in the streets. You know.
Yeah. Jim R asks, Conspiracy Cats, can you explain toilet paper Earth?
Yeah, well, I mean, Flat Earth knows the guy. Do you remember the Flat Earth data guy who was a right pain in the arse we spoke to the other week? Well, he left a comment on my channel, and I went on his to see what he had, and he basically took a toilet roll, stuck 2 pieces of paper to the side, and drew some stars on, and then twisted it round and said essentially that was the perfect model for how we get the different directions of spin in the northern and southern hemisphere. So, I mean, that's literally as far as he went in that video. I think I showed all the full video in that section on my Chatbox Travels today. It was ridiculous.
I mean, if he's trying to say the Earth is a toilet roll, then that kind of fits with their theory that you should see a bend in the horizon when you look at it, doesn't it?
Well, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. There is one thing that I just want to say to the chat. If you at MCToon, then he'll see the question. He'll be much more likely to see the questions because he's sending them to me on Discord, where I can easily see them. Anyway, Meatloaf says, if the Earth is a flat, stationary plane, how can there be a flat Earth movement?
Well, when they say flat Earth movement, I just generally think about going to the toilet and having a movement.
Yeah, no, good question.
Well, that would be something along the lines of flatulence, or
yeah, and just generally talking shit.
Yeah. So we've all worked it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question is Anti-Flatter asks, how does it feel knowing you made Flat Out Hero run away?
Yeah, last night that was absolutely fantastic. I think Reds and I we could be classed as bullies after last night with the amount of roasting that Flat Out Hero got. If you guys in the chat haven't seen Red's stream from last night, then make sure you got 5 hours spare, because it is 5 hours of pure dumpster fire. Flat Out Hero and Spurkismo came on to try and debate with me, Red, Sean Hufford, Young Blue Skeptic, Jared from AT2 Production. You know, he thought that he, for some reason, would take on all of us, and it didn't go well for him.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds like it. Well, anything that Flat Out Hero is in is a dumpster fire. Yeah.
He basically, during the stream, admitted that he knew that his challenge was impossible. And that he wasn't ever going to accept any answers.
Oh, okay.
Like, so he kind of proved his dishonesty and, you know, intellectual dishonesty from the start by just saying that he knew that he was never going to accept anything that anyone came up with.
Oh shit, we've got they here.
They.
Yeah.
Oh, not they. Faceless they.
Anyway, the next question that we've got is, he's actually asking this to Conspiracy Catz. Could Flat Earth exist in the universe of Paper Mario?
I think definitely, yeah. Yeah, definitely, I think it should. Absolutely.
It's more likely to exist there, right?
I'd imagine so, yeah. Yeah. 2-dimensional screen. I think it's exactly the right place. Ooh.
And
here we go.
Apparently I've got something to show on stream when something surprising happens, although I'd need to create a... yeah, okay, we've already got people saying pay Wolfie and Sue flat out hero.
Yeah. The question was asked to MCToon last night on the stream. Like Reg was like, I'm willing to set up a GoFundMe for you to go and sue Flat Out Hero, but MCToon is just too much of a nice guy. I mean, I'd do it. I mean, technically, when you look at his original challenge video, he never specified a close date for it. You know, so you can't just add random things on afterwards. That's not part of the original challenge. So no matter what he says, the original challenge is still open. Anyone can go and do it and then still claim that $100,000, and then everyone should sue him.
Yeah, what is the legal? It's like, how legally obliged is he to pay? You know, can you just throw any old crap out like that verbally in a video, and it legally stick? You think?
I'm not sure of the exact legal status, but like it, I don't know if it constitutes any kind of legal binding contract or anything. But you know, when he is specifying things in that way and saying, I'm going to do this, I've got this money that I will give to you if you can do it, and then to not pay up, I mean, surely that's got to be illegal somewhere.
I do know that in the US, apparently you can sue people for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and he does live in the US.
So yeah. Someone asked me, where am I from? Just curious. I'm actually from New Zealand. If you can't tell from my accent. A lot of people from America think that I'm from Britain.
So, do you know Gandalf, or?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've seen Gandalf walking around the streets somewhere.
Yeah, I'd love to visit New Zealand.
It's a nice place.
Yeah. A lot of people imagine New Zealand is like dead close to Australia. It's actually quite a distance, isn't it? How long does it take to fly to Australia?
It takes about 3 hours to fly to Australia.
Really?
3 hours.
Wow. I can get from like Britain to Tenerife in 3 hours.
Yeah, I remember that I was able to, like, a couple of people were able to watch Deadpool 2 on the flight over here, like the whole thing, and I was able to watch What We Do in the Shadows on the way over to Australia. It's a good movie, by the way. And Anti-Flatter says, Akiki Kiora, my bro. Anyway, Simon Dan says, I have a question for all three. If you had to go for a beer with a flat earther, who would you pick?
If I had to go for a beer with a flat earther? Oh, God. Actually interact with one of them.
That is actually a really difficult question.
I mean, I haven't come across one yet that I actually could consider something that I like.
I think D Marble would be at least a down-to-earth, decent bloke. I think when I've watched D Marble's stuff, he always seems fairly down-to-earth. Antonio Subrats also seems fairly down-to-earth, and he's always been pleasant whenever I've been in touch with him. Yeah, but I'd say D Marble, probably, yeah, I'd probably have a beer with him. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, maybe Flat Out Hero, because he's dumb enough to trick him into buying every round.
But the question is, does he have the money?
Oh, yeah, true. Good point.
I'd actually probably go either either flat out hero or flattening atheism, because both of them have been pleasant to debate.
Yeah. Let's say flat out hero is not the sharpest tool in the box, is he? But he's not antagonistic, really, is he? He's not aggressive and upfront with people.
No, I find his tone a bit antagonistic, but in the way that he's being condescending on purpose. And
yeah,
like, although he can seem like calm and nice, it's still not pleasant to have a conversation with the guy, I don't think. I think that's just because I have a very low tolerance for stupidity, though.
They pulled a handgun out when I was on the non sequitur show with him at the beginning. I don't know, was that stream? Yeah, it must have been streamed. Yeah, pulled out. We just asked him if he was ready, and he says, "Yeah," and pulls a gun out. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, maybe I'd stay away from him.
Apparently, Darth Killer would go for Orphan Red. Anyway, our next question is thoughts on Scientific Lee and his visions that debunk gravity.
Thoughts on what, sorry?
Thoughts on Scientific Lee and his visions that debunk gravity.
Someone's had visions that debunk gravity.
Apparently.
Well, yeah, that's legit.
Okay, I guess we're all flat earthers now. Convinced me. What about you?
Yeah, he had visions, so it must be true. I mean, that's it, really.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
That whole anti-gravity thing just winds me up. You know, people are so... They recognise density and they recognise buoyancy, and they go, oh yeah, if you let it, if something's less dense, it will float. But then they use that as evidence for gravity not having to exist. You know, they don't. It really, that's the one flat Earth bit of evidence that really winds me up. People that say, there's no gravity because we know that things that are less dense than water float on water. That's when I know I'm talking to a real numbnut, I think, when they're adamant about it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
They bring out the whole, well, it's going down to the path of least resistance to the next level of density, but the atmosphere gets less dense as it goes up. So if it's going to go the path of least resistance, it's going to go up, right?
You'd think so.
Yeah, it could go in any direction. Why perfectly downwards?
Yeah.
Why perfectly downwards? It could go anywhere. It could go where it knows.
I mean, that's the point that I've kind of tried to get across about gravity with their whole density thing, is that with their explanations, there is no down, there is no vector. They're just saying it goes down because they never actually they can say density as much as they want, but it's not going to change the fact that they're not given a force that makes something go down.
The mystical, magical down force.
Yeah, dropity, I think allegedly Dave called it.
Okay. Noxious says, "How does it feel to live upside down?" And yeah, I just remembered that I'm standing up, or not standing, but sitting upside down. I have to strap myself into the chair. That's why you barely see me get up.
So if I look like straight down right now, I'm kind of looking at your feet, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, obviously. Water can't stick to a ball.
Didn't Flat Out prove that water can stick to a ball?
Yeah, and Wolfie. Wolfie proved that it can stick to the bottom of a spinning ball, spinning about 200 times faster than Earth.
Okay. I think I saw something like that.
It was just one of those magnetic globes, and he put a bit of water on it, and there's some drops at the bottom, and it's spinning really fast. And it's like, there you go, water on the bottom of a spinning ball.
One comment that I just want to address right now is Anti-Flat Earth says, anyone else find it ironic Catz is an Avenger and Fight the Flat Earthers Batman? And I just want to add to Anti-Flat Earth's statement and point out that I'm wearing a Star Labs t-shirt, so...
So I've got the backup if anything happens. Star Labs ain't going to help Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's any superhero I would be, I suppose Batman is the only one I would ever have the possibility to be, because with enough money and training, I could be Batman. But you know, I could never be Superman, Green Lantern, or the Flash. And I suppose the same conspiracy cats could, with enough money and stuff, be Tony Stark and Iron Man. But I doubt he's ever going to be Thor.
Don't shatter my dreams. Don't shatter my dreams. Don't tell me it's not possible. Come on. So yeah, I'd love to be Spider-Man. He's you know, shooting white.
I'd just like to be Spider-Man for the one-liners.
I would like to be Thor because, first off, Thor is OP, especially with the whole.
Yeah.
I won't go into any spoilers that might be in Avengers Infinity War because apparently there's still some people that haven't seen it, but yeah, he is pretty OP. But also I do like the fact that Thor Ragnarok was directed by Taika Waititi, who is a New Zealander. It was a good movie.
Fair enough.
And
it was cool.
And I'll just call him facepalm or head palm into the keyboard wolf. Has asked me, do you still talk to Radikal? I don't know if Radikal still exists, honestly.
Who's that?
It's a person that this guy told me about ages ago, and he had a channel with 2,000 subscribers, and I think he's deleted it or something like that. And he's just gone from the face of the earth. I think he got a girlfriend or something like that and disappeared. So
yeah,
it's kind of disappointing when good channels die like that. I do have a bit of a curse of anyone's channel who I appear on. They tend to die for some reason.
Oh, great. I mean, Conspiracy Cats has already killed Flat Earth, just making my channel redundant.
Well, Anthony Riley killed it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Ranty Flat Earth's been killing it on his own for ages.
True.
Absolutely. He's yeah. Even like his latest video, he's you know, he doesn't learn, does he? Even his latest video, he's still filming over the same bit of water. You know, in Barrow, you still can't see the bottom of the buildings in the background.
Yeah. Here, look at this post.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Good old. Don't get it.
Good old ranty globe Earth prover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to add him on Facebook, but he's banned me from his channel. I can't speak to him.
Oh. All right, any more questions?
AT2 Productions has a question for all three. If you were to see Nathan Oakley in a pub, at what velocity would your full point smack into the back of his head?
Terminal velocity? I don't know, if I can get hold of some kind of magnetically charged railgun faster than terminal velocity close to the speed of light. Wait, I keep talking about murdering flat earthers on stream, so I need to stop doing that. I think it was about 10 minutes on Red Stream last night we talked about killing flat earthers.
For me, I'm quite a pacifist, but Nathan Oakley is probably the one flat earther who just really irks me enough that I might actually have something smacking into the back of his head.
Yeah.
That's his MO. He just tries to wind, because that's how he thinks his channel is going to grow, by being the channel where you have big, huge arguments every day, and you know that's just what he's like.
Have you seen Creaky Blinders' video about him?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
How good was that? That's one of the best ones I've seen, really. And if you guys in the chat haven't seen Creaky Blinders' new video on Nathan Oakley, then you know, go and watch it, because it's proper funny. He's so good.
Yeah. Oh. And the production quality of his stuff is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I watch his, then watch my videos and think, well, I'm shit.
I think he puts us all to shame, really.
Yeah.
Also,
I think
what's that?
Sorry, mate. It's the lag. I was speaking over you. You carry on, bud.
I was just gonna say. Also, he created the logo for this, or not the logo, the thing for the stream, the thumbnail for the stream.
Yeah. He also created mine and Conspiracy Cats' channel art and my logo.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's a good guy.
I think I need to work out a new logo though at some point.
Yeah, I'm assuming your channel used to have more to do with gaming.
It had a lot more to do with the gaming. I used to be streaming games quite often, but I actually found out about Flat Earth quite a while ago, and as soon as I found out about it, I was like, I've got to make a few videos on this, but I didn't really have much time for making videos at the time, so it took me a while to actually start getting more into Flat Earth, so yeah.
It's such an... There's so much content that Flat Earthers just keep giving for us to make videos.
Exactly.
I mean, like I literally just go and type hashtag Flat Earth into Google or Twitter or YouTube or whatever, and there's just an endless supply of stupidity. You know, I do kind of think, oh, what if Flat Earth dies? What if people start believing in Flat Earth, stop believing in it? But I think there seems to be waves of the idiots coming in. You know, I think some people will come in and be all passionate and rah about it, and then maybe 3 or 4 years later down the line, try and forget they were being so stupid, but then a new generation of idiots come in.
Yeah, and it'll only ever stay like that with all the material on it that's online now. You know, if somebody's getting sort of like, you know, late teens, early 20s or something like that, and sees some of these videos on the internet, and like you say, you get a whole new generation of them coming, because those videos aren't going anywhere.
Yeah,
no,
you know, that actually leads into the next question. Will you guys ever give up on Flat Earthers, given that they cannot be convinced through science and logic? Because the way that I see it is, I don't so much make videos to convince the Flat Earthers. I'm more of making videos to convince the people that might be leaning towards Flat Earth or something like that, and let them know, hey, look, Flat Earth is kind of stupid.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I do think there's some of them that maybe can be saved, but the majority of them won't ever change their mind. But if I can poke fun at them enough and actually help explain the science enough, maybe I can help someone who's on the fence. So I don't think that I'm ever going to stop because Flat Earthers won't get it, because there's always going to be people that are not sure about stuff, and I can always help, and there's always going to be an endless supply of Flat Earthers for me to poke fun at.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think like some people, I mean, I know the moon landing isn't flat Earth, but I remember being a kid and I never believed the moon landing was a hoax ever. But when I was a kid and I was at school, I saw a video of the flag waving on the moon, and I had no idea why it waved on the moon. I genuinely had no idea. And if I'd have been a bit more conspiratorial in my nature, I might have believed. You know, I might be one of those people who believe because I just didn't know. But, you know, obviously with the internet and stuff now, it's easy to find those answers. But there'll be people that are looking at flat Earth, and you know, they'll look at the Chicago skyline maybe, and they'll think, oh, that shouldn't be possible. Or they'll hear somebody saying water, you know, is level, so how can the oceans bend? And that'll be enough for them. If they've got that conspiratorial mindset, they'll just go with it, you know. So I think ridiculing it as much as we can, but, you know, hopefully rules it out as being an option for them.
I mean, even if someone's not going to kind of be convinced by the science, maybe they're going to be convinced by the fact that we're ridiculing them so much because they don't want to be ridiculed.
Well, I used to believe the whole moon landing conspiracy thing because I just didn't know better, really. You know, and since I've been presented with evidence, I've come around and thought, maybe they actually did land on the moon.
That's the thing. You were presented with evidence. You looked at the evidence and came to a conclusion, and that's what flat earthers are incapable of doing. They're incapable of, with an intellectually honest mind, looking at data and evidence and coming to a conclusion, because they're always going to use that confirmation bias that they've got and come to the conclusion that the data is showing them it's proof of flat Earth.
Yeah, well, they're so emotionally invested in it, aren't they? You know, I mean, we've spoken about this before, but to them, it's they obsess over flat Earth, don't they? They absolutely obsess over it because they feel they've got this bit of knowledge that other people have, and it makes them feel special, that there are these big mysteries and secrets out there that, you know, that they need to go and find the answers to. They've got a journey and a purpose because of it, and that makes them really resistant to being intellectually honest, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Out of it.
I do agree with that. Anyway, on to the next question. We've got quite a few that we haven't answered. So, Mr. Facepalm into the Keyboard Wolf says, if the Earth is flat, Oh, it says the Earth is flat because why isn't our shoes arched?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got my own question. If the Earth is flat, why is it so bad to have flat feet?
Yeah, exactly. Flat feet people would be better at walking, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Flat Out Hero, not Flat Hero, Flat Out. Didn't he do a video on that where he proved it was flat by strapping some wooden planks to his feet?
Yeah, proving curvature 2.0, I think that one was. Yeah, Flat Out's brilliant.
As I say,
I couldn't stop laughing.
Flat Out is the one flat earther that cannot be debunked.
No,
He's just too good of a flat earther.
I wouldn't want to face him in debate because I couldn't debunk any of his ideas, basically.
Exactly. He's the most genuine flat earther, I think.
He actually does his own experiments, and you know, I think he might convince me that the Earth's flat.
Yeah.
That's never gonna happen.
And Busted Shark says, "Fight the flat Earth. How's your stalker flat Earth Yeti doing?"
Oh, Flat Earth Yeti, yeah, Flat Earth Jesus. He got really angry at the comment. He left a comment on one of my videos, basically saying that I'm gay and no one likes me and blah blah blah. And then I pinned it, so like 100 people started replying and calling him out for like saying that I'm ugly when look at him. And he got really upset and quite defensive, saying how he was hungover and didn't mean to say what he was saying, and but I'm still a dick. But actually tonight on the Non Sequitur show, after I've had an open debate on there, he's debating Reds on the Non Sequitur show at like 2 a.m.
Oh, okay.
What time are you on tonight? I didn't realise you were on tonight. What
Yeah, it's I think 1 o'clock. I'm on to do the open debate. Anyone that wants to come and debate me, they're let in, and then after that is Reds versus Flat Earth Jesus.
Right.
82 Productions asks, "What about those of us wearing nothing at all?" I'm just not sure what he means by that. I mean,
a bit of context, Jared. Jared, why are you naked again, mate? We've talked about this.
I mean, I suppose if you're at a nudist colony, it's all good, just wear nothing at all.
I mean, is that what he wants to wear nothing at all for the International Ballers Day? Like literally showing them the balls?
Oh, that's great. And Yastava says, "What do you think about brainwashing organizations like Jehovah's Witnesses?" And I think when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses, they are, because I've watched quite a bit of Telltale. Have either of you seen Telltale's channel?
No.
No, it's a new one for me, that.
Okay, he's pretty good. He talks about cults and stuff like that. But yeah, from what it seems like, Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult, and according to the Byte model. And so,
the guy that did the vocals for my music for my intro, he was raised in a Jehovah's Witness family, so he's actually an ex Jehovah's Witness. And I don't know if he would classify it as a cult in the same way that I would kind of classify Flat Earth as a cult, because Jehovah's Witnesses don't deny basic science and things like that. But they do have a doctrine that they want to enforce on everyone.
Yeah. I think that a good thing to look at would be the Byte model, which will usually tell you if you can classify something as a cult or not. And Telltale goes into that on his channel. So Telltale's a good watch. Check out his channel.
Yeah, I think I might actually.
Yeah. And one thing that I do want to say is I don't agree with the whole, because when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff, apparently if you try and leave, people will try and I forgot what it's called, but it's like disowning you or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely not true, because like my friend, he's still very close with his whole family, and they know full well that he's not a Jehovah, and it doesn't affect, it's not like Scientology where you try and leave and they're going to harass you and stuff like that. I think you can be a Jehovah's Witness and still be a decent person and understand that not everyone's going to believe it. But obviously they still do want to go and knock on everyone's doors and try and force it on you. But frankly, every Jehovah's Witness that's knocked on my door, I found perfectly pleasant. I've said, no, thank you, I'm not interested. And they said, okay, have a nice day, and walked away. Yeah. Whereas I think if you met, say, Dell or something in the street trying to tell you that you're wrong for wearing a NASA shirt, he wouldn't take the whole I'm not interested. He would keep going on at you and badger you until there was an argument or something. So I think, there's a big difference between, what a cult is and the way that people are, I think.
I think it's more of the American Jehovah's Witnesses are more of a problem than anywhere else, because Jehovah's Witnesses here in New Zealand are pretty pleasant, but when you hear about them in America, they tend to not sound that great, to be honest.
Yeah. But I think America's full of a lot of extremes, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, the next question is from 790. Are there any genuinely dangerous flat earthers?
I think, yeah.
Go on, Catz. Go on.
No, I'm going to make one after you.
I think they're all dangerous. I think anyone that believes in the flat earth has become dangerous because their thinking is so warped. To believe in the flat earth, you have got to literally deny reality. And you have to change your whole level of thinking to think that you've been lied to your whole life. And once you've got that mindset, I think you are dangerous to society, because you're going to mistrust everything and everyone and never accept what you're being told. So, I mean, is there any particularly dangerous flat earthers? I think the most popular ones are the most dangerous ones because they're spreading it.
Yeah. Like, I think that also some of the really dangerous ones would have to be the ones that, like Nathan Oakley, that are just doing it for money, and nothing that you can say will convince them because they don't want to be convinced. So it's not so much that...
Nathan Oakley's already convinced. He knows full well that the earth isn't flat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He knows 100% that he is lying to everybody. I don't know if Ranty and Sleeping Warrior know, but Nathan Oakley definitely knows. What do you think, Catz?
I've got a screenshot of Nathan sending Anthony a message, but I think it's quite a famous one. I think it was leaked a while ago. Kyle from the Non-Tech Show emailed it me, and it was taken in one of Nathan's chats, and he's basically saying to Anthony, he accidentally shared his screen. The screen didn't mean to, and he's basically saying to Anthony, we can't talk about something to do with light types. We can't talk about this because this is perfect globe proof. It's what they're after. Let's divert the conversation away from it. And he knew what the person was trying to say was absolutely perfect proof. But going back to what you said before about the most dangerous flat earthers, I honestly think the most dangerous flat earthers are the ones with kids, because the amount of times I've seen them say, my child will be learning the right way. My child will go to school knowing that all the learning is a model, and I'll be teaching them to ask the right questions. Well, they're not going to be teaching them to ask the right questions. They're going to be teaching them to not believe anything. They're going to be teaching them to suspect lies everywhere and not to be able to think critically. So that's my answer to that.
Goddess Engineer did a video saying about how M. Benz teaches his children, and M. Benz was talking about how he let his kids go to school and get the good grades and that, but when he comes home, he's going to tell them, well, dinosaurs didn't exist, and no, the earth is flat. But he still wants them to study and get good grades. But when they come home, he's going to drop little nuggets of truth, as he tells it, to his kids and make them know that what he says is true. And you're right, Catz, that is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I think that what needs to happen is that more critical thinking needs to be taught in schools. Rather than being, as people like Neil deGrasse Tyson has said, the problem is that we tell people what to think in school. We don't do enough of telling them how to think.
Yeah. I think
science curriculum. Sorry, go on.
No, you go. You're a teacher. You'll have the best opinion on it.
Well, the science curriculum, certainly in the UK, over I mean, I started teaching in 2002, and I've seen it change, and there was a significant shift in the curriculum towards, well, we call it like, how science works and looking at analytical skills. And a lot of the assessment now is looking at analyzing data, thinking about manipulating variables, and teach them to think for themselves, to plan investigations and to interpret the data. And it has gone that way. Obviously, there's still the content to learn. You're always going to have to learn, the structure of the cell and, names of the planets and stuff. But it has moved in a lot of subjects now to that. And the reason behind it was because we kind of realized 10, 15 years ago that the kids that are at school, in 20 years' time, the jobs they'll be doing, they don't exist now. The way technology is moving on, those jobs just don't exist. So, rather than just teaching them facts, we needed to teach them how to actually think critically, and so that when they're older, they've got those skills where they can actually learn new things and evaluate, and adapt to the changing world. That's kind of like where the drive comes from.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea, honestly.
Catz, have you ever come across a student that didn't believe what you were saying about science in any way?
Yes, I've worked in a church school in the past, and I've come across kids who, and that's very difficult because I don't want to stomp on anyone's religious beliefs. So when I've been speaking to people about evolution or the Big Bang, and they say, well, I believe that God has invented the, my response to that has always been, well, that's fine, but why can God not do both? If God is all powerful and he wants to, and he wants to create a species, why can he not choose to create it through evolution? Because that's where the evidence is pointing to us. Why can God not drive evolution, but through the method that we've discovered? Why can he not create the universe, but via the method that we've discovered?
Yeah.
And then if they don't believe me, I tell them to piss. No, I don't.
Well, wasn't it Richard Dawkins that said that religion without science is pointless?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surely God didn't want us to be in a world where we're completely confused, walking around like a flat earther would, wondering what everything is. That surely, I don't know. But yeah, I have come across that a few times.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
So yeah, anyway, next question is Nick's 5 cents said, anyone buy a globe for their kids for Christmas this year?
No. I don't know. There's a telescope in one of their presents. So
okay.
They're just out there, so no one knows to hear. I think that's that one, actually.
Okay, I don't have any kids, so...
That you know of.
Yes, that I know of.
How many kids have you got,
Get that
Catz?
knock on that door in 10 years. No, I didn't buy a globe. What did I buy? Gadget. Kids love gadgets, like little Google, Google Homes and Alexa and things like that. Love those things. So
yeah, but so do you, to be fair.
Yeah, I love them. Absolutely. I've had to unplug the Alexa to charge my phone while we're doing the stream so it doesn't run out. So otherwise I'd be demonstrating it. But I love that.
Yeah.
Try asking one of the Earth is
John Best asks, how much curvature is there between Catz and his microphone?
I don't have a microphone. I'm talking straight into the phone, and I'm arm's length away from my phone. So am I too quiet or too loud?
I know. I think he's just asking how much curvature there is between you and your microphone.
Oh God! I bet we could calculate it as well, can't we? I'm going to say that.
Well, 8 miles is 0.014 of an arc. So what would you say that is? A meter and a half?
Yeah, probably about a meter and a half.
So you're going to have to divide that by... Right, it's going to be about 0.0002 of an arc of a degree.
That sounds legit.
There you go. That's more we find out than we expected.
According to Jim R, I'm a kid. And
how old are you?
I'm actually 22.
22. No, that's respectable. You're 12 years older than my oldest son.
Okay. Malt Loaf asks, what do I need to use to make YouTube videos like all of yours? Well, I want to say personally, I use this Blue Yeti and
Like this one.
yeah, like that one. And I also have a nice webcam, but honestly, you don't need to have the best. You don't need to have the best equipment, because I started with a
I record most of my stuff on this Canon, which was only about £400. It's not an amazing camera. Obviously, when I'm just streaming, I use my webcam. Editing wise, I use Movavi 18, which is pretty easy and simple to use. It's not expensive to do. I mean, you can do it with just like a computer, a computer and the webcam and the microphone on it, and then use Windows Movie Maker. You never have to spend any money.
Yeah, I used to use Windows Movie Maker, and I believe Conspiracy Cats, you still use Windows Movie Maker. Am I correct?
Yeah, I just use my phone. I haven't got a microphone. I just use my phone and Windows Movie Maker. But the quality of my videos is pretty poor. So,
Well,
there you go.
sometimes very cheap videos can seem like they have the best sort of quality to them in a way.
It's more to do with the way that you put them together, Catz. You're very slick with the editing that you do, and it works really, really well. I mean, we can tell that you're not a Hollywood studio, but it works really well for what you do, and it makes it even more funny the way that it's almost basically put together.
Oh, I hope so. In that case, I'll not shell out any money for a new computer. I'll save that, and that could be my thing. It could be like, the cheap guy in the corner. I quite like that.
But you don't have to spend money to do it. I mean, a lot of channels don't even have a camera, and they just put clips together and talk over it.
I might be wrong, and I know Young Blue Skeptic's in the chat, so he may be able to answer. But I'm pretty sure Young Blue Skeptic does everything on his phone. I think he records on his phone, but I think he does all the editing on his phone as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I bet there's so many apps that you could probably get easy Movie Maker apps on your phone. Miles Davis is in the chat, and he says he uses Movie Maker as well.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
I use Movie Studio because honestly, I started having problems with Windows Movie Maker corrupting files and all that, so I just decided I'd just use something like Movie Studio, and I've been using Movie Studio for a while. And Miles Davis just asked how the question's selected, and I think it's just what MCToon notices, really.
Yeah.
We'll keep looking in the chat as well, though. If you fire a question in there.
Yeah, MCToon says he's capturing all the questions, so hopefully they should get through.
Yeah. On the next one is a great question. The Critical Eye says, my gravity is acting up. How is it where you guys are?
About 9.8 meters per second squared.
Yeah,
fairly.
Mine's probably about the same, but I do have that worry that I might just fall off at some point.
Yeah, I mean, my density's okay as well, so we're covered on both areas.
But I'm just glad that I don't have a bit of water and something that can float, because then gravity would be gone all weird for me.
Yeah, I mean, you are upside down, so it would all be kind of leaking. I mean, do you have to then, like when you're doing the videos, do you have to like turn it round in the editor?
Yeah, like my camera is actually upside down right now.
No, makes sense.
Yeah, so that makes it all look normal.
Gravity works fine. It's a constant.
And Anti-Flatter asks me, are you joining in International Ballers Day? And I would like to, I honestly would, but I don't have any NASA t-shirts.
Have you got just a plain white t-shirt?
No, I don't.
Oh. Well, then you just have to paint a NASA logo on your chest and go out.
That would work, I guess.
And Star Wars t-shirt. That's his face.
Yep, space it do.
I mean, this kind of works. It's not NASA, but
yeah.
I mean, it's got star on it, so.
Jim R says, "Does it give you a headache to be upside down all the time?"
You get used to it. You know, it takes a bit of time to get used to it, but you get used to it. I've found that I actually found that if I stop taking the vaccinations from NASA, the NASA vaccinations that sort of make you believe that it's a globe, then the headache starts to go away.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Although,
that's we're not supposed to tell the civilians that the NASA are the ones that make the vaccines. That's kind of top secret info, dude.
Oh, damn it. You see, I haven't received my NASA shill check yet, so.
It's to do with the government shutdown, I told you.
Yeah. Jimmy Callanan asks, has anyone ever debated Mark Sargent? And if not, can we make that happen?
I have directly challenged him on his channel and there's been no response. I believe he's been on the Non-Sec show. I'm pretty sure if you search Mark Sargent Non-Sec, I'm pretty sure he's been on there. Okay. But he's not a real flat earther, so I don't know if he'd be up for debating much.
Yastava says, hey guys, for those who think that NASA lies to us, why would they do that? There's nothing to hide at all, right?
Not that we're allowed to tell you.
Exactly.
Well, it does bring up an interesting question about what is, why would the governments hide all this stuff? At the end of the day, what power is it going to give people to make people think that the Earth's round or flat? I still genuinely don't understand why there would be this big conspiracy.
Yeah, and if there is such a big conspiracy, they managed to do a pretty good job, because from what I can see, the sun actually today is the longest day for me, I believe, and the sun rises all the way in the southeast, travels north, and will set in the southwest. And that's something that can only really work on a globe, because all the North Hemisphere flat earthers say that the sun goes around the North Pole, makes a circuit around the North Pole. So,
what do you reckon, Catz? Why would the governments cover this up?
Well, I mean, that's it. There is no reason. But what you said there, you said the governments and not the government, and that's the thing. A lot of the flat earthers they keep talking about NASA, trying to discredit NASA. NASA probably make up about 0.5% of the people that would need to be in the conspiracy. Literally every government in the world, and then, everybody involved in the infrastructure of education and technology in every single country that's civilized, they'd all need to be directed by somebody. Who is that somebody? Who could have that power? And especially when these countries. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, also, I've noticed that things like every meteorologist would have to be in on it.
Amateur astronomer, seismologist, physicist.
Every pilot, every boat captain, every sub-captain, anyone that uses any kind of astronomical calculations or navigation-based, data, anyone that has to use anything that relies on things working in space, and so many people would have to be in on the conspiracy or being fed false information by people, and that's a lot of stuff to kind of coordinate.
At this point, it's not so much that there's a whole lot of flat earthers that are questioning everything. At this point, it's that flat earthers have to remain willingly ignorant, I think.
And
That's the thing. It is willful ignorance.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's exactly the term that. It's deliberate and willful, and buried in the sand. You know, that's it. It's like, well, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about NASA, and that's why they like. What does Nathan Oak say? Hand wave dismissal. Well, that's what they do. You bring up NASA. You can't learn anything about the shape of the Earth by looking at the stars. You know, those kind of stuff. Just get rid of it. I just posted on my channel today about Polaris, and basically said this whole argument about Polaris is ridiculous anyway because it's a star that tells us nothing about the shape of the Earth. You know, astronomy isn't can't tell us about the shape of the Earth. Just these huge hand wave dismissals.
Yeah.
It's, ignorance. Yeah, willful ignorance.
Yeah. I just want to address MCToon says the camera never switches to you when you're talking. We just see conspiracy cats will fight the flat Earth. It's. I don't know how to fix that, honestly. I think Nathan Oakley is the one person that could help me with getting Hangouts to work properly.
Yeah, he does. He does know how to use Hangouts. I think he's on Flat Earth Debate 678 now.
Yeah, so maybe I should go on and just ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like Hangouts. Is poorly designed. I think personally. And, I've been sniped twice using it, and I think it's all a conspiracy to make everyone buy Google Meets for $10 a year.
It might be. That's the one conspiracy that might actually have a bit of truth to it.
Definitely.
Busted Shark asks Conspiracy Cats, what do you think about teachers promoting Flat Earth?
Promoting it?
Yeah.
Oh my word! I think that's highly negligent, and we've got a duty to safeguard the kids. We've got a duty of care for the kids to do the best for our kids. So to actually deliberately promote Flat Earth, that to me would be like deliberately, going into a classroom and telling all the kids that evolution never happened, or, I think. Well, I know there'd be serious issues. A teacher would lose the job if they went into the classroom and took that stance. Definitely.
I came across a post on Reddit that was my physics teacher is a flat earther. What should I do? Oh. I don't understand how being a flat earther and being a physics teacher would be compatible in any way.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then Gav from Dell's show, he's supposed to have a master's degree in physics, isn't he?
That's a load of bollocks.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think if that happened, there'd be an absolute world. That teacher would be given two choices, and one of them will be to move on with a good reference. The second one will be to be moved on with no reference.
Yeah, I don't think any head teacher could allow that to happen. Right?
Well, it couldn't. Parents would complain. They complain to the governor. This is how it would work. Parents would complain. They would complain to the governors. The governors would take it to the head and say, what is going on here? The head would have to ask, why, that teacher, why am I getting these complaints? What are you delivering? Are you delivering the curriculum? You're not delivering the curriculum. What you tell them? And then out of that conversation, essentially, he'll be put on a support program so he can deliver what he should be delivering instead of what he wants to deliver. And I know some flat earthers might hear that and say, oh, therefore all teachers must be liars, flat earther. You're going to lose your job if you think, But to be honest, if you're a flat earther and you're a science teacher, you deserve to lose your job.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
And apparently, I can click on the picture on the bottom of the screen to bring up my camera. But if you guys were to talk, I'm thinking that it's going to stay on me.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's staying on me.
I don't think so.
Because it's. And because then when I unclick it, it switches to you two. Yeah, Hangouts is not well designed for streaming.
No, see, within the Hangout, it just switches between the two of you when you're talking, and I'm not on the screen. For me.
Yeah. So it's to do with who's. I
don't need to see my own face. I mean, you guys don't need to see my face. I should probably start doing videos where I'm not on.
But anyway, the next question is, how would polar alignment work on a flat Earth? And I think
it
there's
wouldn't.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that's the answer that you can just give. It doesn't. It's a very simple question. Well, I mean, it's a very simple answer. So, what's your guys' favourite celestial body?
Favorite celestial body? I do like a lot of moons.
I'd have.
I like Jupiter because it's a great example of the Coriolis force.
I'd probably have to go. Yeah, either Jupiter or Saturn.
I'm going to go Ceres, and I'm going to say Ceres because that when I was a kid and I was growing up, obviously we didn't learn about, Ceres and make and Haumea and stuff like that. We just learned, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. And I think I was, 11, 12, something like that. That was the first time I realized that there were actually other planets that we just not learned about. And Ceres was the first. So Ceres is my favorite because of that.
Cool. Good answer.
Thank you. Yes.
Reason Vision says, wait, no flat earthers invited? Boo!
Flat earthers are welcome to come and ask us questions. But,
yeah, exactly. We'll answer them.
I don't know if you've been in a hangout with a flat earther, but it's a painful experience.
Yeah, I get it. I've been in a couple of hangouts with a flat earther. It's generally debating, although it depends what flat earther it is. Like Nathan Oakley is one of the people which I generally don't enjoy the hangouts. I'm not a masochist.
No.
But, with Flattening Atheism and Flat Out Hero, they are well behaved, I think.
Yeah, I've said this before, but I've been in a hangout with a guy called Mark Doxey, and that was just a really nice, pleasant chat. We were right. We were a right nice guy. He's not got a massive channel, but a really pleasant bloke.
Yeah. Like there are some flat earthers that I can respect. Like there was a flat earther that I'm just trying to remember. There was a flat earther that I talked to, and although we didn't agree on the shape of the Earth, we agreed on things like climate change and a lot of things to do with science. It's just that we didn't agree on the shape of the Earth. And so he was pleasant enough to talk to.
I don't think I've come across a flat earther that I've enjoyed talking to yet. I think that's partly my fault because I find it very, very hard to have any respect for a flat earther. And that comes out when I'm talking to them. And I'm well aware of that, but I can't change it because I can't have respect for someone that can be so willfully ignorant and not only be that willfully ignorant, but spread that stupidity. I can't have respect for them.
Yeah. To me, it's really down to like if they go ahead and try and spread flat Earth, then it's one of them things which I lose respect for them then. However, if they just believe in flat Earth and don't try and spread it or anything, the kind of thing of if you keep your beliefs to yourself, I don't really lose that much respect for you.
No. If every flat earther in the world kept it to themselves and didn't try and spread it around and put it on YouTube and stuff, I'd probably have no issue with it.
Yeah.
But it like we discussed earlier, it's the dangers behind having this as perceived facts in society. It angers me. It genuinely angers me.
Anyway, on to the next question because we've got quite a few questions that have filled up the backlog. And so Triax666 says, what are your thoughts on the farting lesbian penguins of Ecuador? And I have honestly never heard about these before.
Say that again.
What are your thoughts on the farting lesbian penguins of Ecuador?
Many.
I have more questions than answers to that.
I want to go on Google right now.
I don't think I should Google it though. because I don't want that in my search history.
No. Be put on some kind of watch list, definitely.
Yeah. 790 asks, do you think you could make a fake Flat Earth channel with a new host, full of traps and shit experiments, just to see if the Flat Earth community falls for it?
Not gonna lie, I considered doing that when I started. I considered using the knowledge that I have to make the best Flat Earth channel I could with the best physics proofs and everything, and see what I could do for a couple of months, and then come out and go, no, I'm not a Flat Earther, and it just proves how fucking stupid it all is. But I don't know, I couldn't lower myself to that level.
Yeah, there was a video that I considered making where I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a Flat Earther, and just like say a whole lot of stupid shit as a joke. Eventually I settled on making a video that could come off to some people as being a Flat Earth video, but was actually more of just saying, you shouldn't use these arguments. But I think that the best way to put it is you shouldn't use these arguments without explaining the argument that you're using. So I think that's the best way to go about it.
Well, a third channel for you cats, dumbass cats or something.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've seen Miles Davis say in the chat that he's thought of that. I know you thought of that. It occurred to me early on in the conspiracy cats days. Could I do something like that? I think a lot of people might have had that thought. It's a good idea. And then to be able, anyone who's watching now that's not got a channel, what I would do, if you're going to go down that road, is I'd film a video now and keep it unlisted on your channel, so the upload date is there, where you tell everybody it's going to be a joke, and you tell everyone you're going to be trolling them. So when you finally come out, people believe you because you can release it as an unlisted one. It's date stamped.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we could all get together and make one together, and like try and fool Ranty and Sleeping Warrior again.
We'll need to change our voices though, because Conspiracy Cats, your voice is just too recognizable, I think. So you'd need to try and go with an American accent or something.
Oh yeah, let's see if I can do accent. I can maybe do an Australian one, but
go on then.
Bloody hell. Would that do? Or is that more Cockney?
I always thought Australian kind of sounded like slowed down Cockney. It was like the Londoners that got over there originally. Like they're like, oh bloody hell, mate, and they got out onto the Australian shores and it's really hot, and like, oh bloody hell, mate, started slowing down because it's so hot.
Well, having been in Australia, there's a few. There is a few things that you recognise about Australia when you're over there about how they speak and stuff. So,
yeah. But no, I think someone should do that and start a fake Flat Earth channel.
The thing is, though, like a few people have mentioned flat out, but he's a bit too obvious that he's a fake Flat Earth channel.
Yeah, he flat out quite clearly knows the Earth is round. I think the idea would be to make a channel to convince people that the person that owns that channel thinks the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
And okay, so Robin Toolstig asks, is there any waterbeds in New Zealand? Is there any waterbeds in New Zealand? I don't have a waterbed.
Why wouldn't there be?
I might be because it might be because they fall off the bottom. So I haven't seen any. So they might be a luxury here. So I don't know. And I can't remember who it was that asked this, but this one person asked, "What celebrity would you rate as a perfect 10?"
What celebrity would I rate as a perfect 10?
Yeah.
Simon Dan.
Simon Dan. Yeah, he's pretty. He apparently is pretty tall, so I can understand that.
Just any celebrity ever.
I think so. I mean, there is a video where I talk about the Queen on my YouTube channel back in the days of gaming. Yeah, there was one video where I talked about the Queen. So I think I'll go with the Queen.
Good old Madge.
Oh my God, perfect. That's a hell of a question. We're talking about celebrity status. Is that the scale we're about? Perfect 10 in terms of celebrity status.
I think they're talking about looks.
Right. In that case, fight the flat Earth. Keep up with celebrities. Honestly, don't keep up with celebrities. One at Fit Ones.
Yeah.
Anyone.
I always had a thing for Kylie Minogue, and she's no bad for a 50-year-old.
Yeah. But the Queen, I tell you what, the Queen. I often, when I was younger, as a joke, with mates, thought, if you ever met the Queen and snogged her, right? Although that would be absolutely revolting, you'd be able to tell that story in any pub you went to, in any restaurant. If you could prove it, you could dine out on that for the rest of your life, like, and get the amount of free beer you would get in your life for doing that.
That would be great for the memes, though.
Yeah. Someone should just do it one day when they're going to give her flowers. Just go in for a snog.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, we'll get on to some more questions. Heart on My Sleeves asks, do they ever wonder how much our chill checks are? And
we're not allowed to divulge that information,
Yeah, has nobody ever
last
learned anything from Neil deGrasse Tyson when he says, I'm not at liberty to speak about that?
Yeah. Last time I mentioned my shield check, it was Helen from PR pulled me in to the office. It was awful.
I'm probably, for the stream, we're probably going to get a few, a bit of a smack on the hand.
We do not work for NASA. You got your bonus this year. I haven't had mine yet.
I'll tell you what. I think I've got yours. I've got yours.
Oh, so just send it to me then, mate. All right.
I was speaking of shows. I was listening to. I don't listen to Nathan's show anymore, but every now and then people tweet me and say you need to go on and listen to this, or they'll send me a link. And Pete Encore was on today or yesterday talking about paid disinformation agents and so adamant, that they are out there. The number of people who have been paid to put across the idea that the Earth is a globe. Teachers and scientists and blah blah blah. He was saying it's one of the biggest conspiracies going. So even Nathan didn't feel that. Even Nathan had to say, well, no.
Do these people actually think there's teams of people in offices posting on Facebook and stuff?
Probably.
They believe YouTube staff. And this is what gets me. I've heard people like Ranty, for example, complain that, Simon Dan, maybe, for example, has blown up, right? And Ranty's been doing this for years, doing what he calls proper science, and his channel hasn't. And I've heard him whinge about it, that Flat Earth channels being pushed down. But when you look at the Flat Earth channels, they're shit. Yeah. They're really boring. You look at Simon Dan's channel. You could watch one of his shows, and then the next one, and then the next one, and you could quite happily sit and watch 45 minutes to an hour, just binge watching his stuff. You don't really get that with somebody filming Barrow, the wind turbines in Barrow for 5 minutes. It's not a binge. You don't watch one and then go back for more.
No.
And then they will not being pushed.
Thing is, most of their videos seem to be 45 minutes of them waffling nonsense as well. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch a 15-minute funny thing or a 15-minute informational thing. I don't want to spend nearly an hour of my life listening to a flat earther try and say the same thing over and over when it's still wrong.
Even this stream, it's been going for an hour, but it's at least it's probably more entertaining than watching flat earthers.
Yeah.
Oh, too right. The flat earth channels are awful. Have you noticed there's a lot of flat earth channels now that when you click on them, they just play music and they show a load of pictures, and it's almost hypnotic, but irritating at the same time. But they don't actually say anything. Is it just me that is stumbling on these channels, or do you see a lot where it's literally pictures and music?
Yeah, there's a 24-hour channel. I can't remember what it's called, Flat Earth Discourse or something, but it's just 24 hours constantly streaming pictures and music and stuff of Flat Earth, and it's just pointless because there's only about 3 people in there, and it's 3 Flat Earthers.
Well, there is. I thought you might have been talking about 24/7 Flat Earth Discord, and that's based on a server which I've actually been banned from, and I can't tell you why I was banned. I just was looking for that server one day, and then I found that that it wasn't in my server list, and it might have been. I think the reason why was because I went on Nathan Oakley's show, and it's I believe the person who runs it might be Indio or something. If anyone knows who that is, Indio 007. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, the Creaky Blinder asks, what do you think of the theory that the flat Earth is being covered up by a globe?
Yeah, I think that's one I could go for.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most reasonable explanation.
Sounds about right.
And Falco Van Garns says, Conspiracy Cats, what's the bloody issue with your audio? It's perfect in your vids, but as soon as you join a hangout, you sound like a leprechaun locked inside a bottle.
No, I mean, like I said before, my setup's really basic. I'm just using my phone. I use the phone for the videos. I'm using the phone for the hangout. I don't know what it is. Maybe my voice changes when it goes into Movie Maker and the video's rendered, or what. I don't know. I'm not doing anything different now than I'm doing my videos. I've got the same room, same camera. I need a proper microphone and setup, and a slightly more butch voice as well. I think I might go see if I can get one of those for Christmas.
What, a butcher voice?
Yeah, see if I can get a butcher voice. Yeah, start testosterone a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I find Yetis to be a good microphone all round because you get the same sort of quality on different things, but it might just be the way that Hangouts processes it. Like, I don't know how I sound to you two, but you know.
You both sound fine to me. Catz cuts out a little bit every now and then, but
yeah, could just be his internet. Anyway, let me just delete this thing so I can go to the next one. All three. Oh, Adrian Clark asks all three of us, do you think it's a case of hatred and distrust of government or just mad paranoia?
Bit of both?
Yeah, I think it's both. Because, yeah, a lot of them do bring up, we don't want... They often bring up they, and that's why there's so much memery about who was they, you know, the ominous faceless they.
I mean, I think the problem is that to believe Flat Earth, you have to believe that governments and stuff are lying to you.
Mm.
So yeah. they're very much linked, really. I don't think you can be a Flat Earther and still trust people.
And
yeah.
I've noticed that being Flat Earther tends to lead to other things like other conspiracies such as chemtrails, which, you know, I still listen to your song Conspiracy Cats.
Chemtrails on Earth, chemtrails on Venus.
Yeah, I need to learn how to play that song.
What did you say it was? G, D, A minor, C?
Oh, let's have a look. I can't remember the order. Yeah, it was just C, F minor, A minor, and G, but I can't remember the order of the chords.
Okay.
I'll play one to it, but there's only there's only so many combinations of those chords. It's the same all the way through.
I think we should do a better version of it with a few people playing guitar and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a nice rock it up, bit of a guitar solo in there as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I could also come up with like a drum beat, because I've got some good software to get drum beats down, but I'd need to know exactly how long the song would be. Anyway,
Excellent.
NZ Pure asks, wait, Planet is a Kiwi? I mean, yeah. And
interestingly, I'm allergic to kiwis. They will actually kill me.
Damn, so you can't come over to New Zealand.
No.
I find that Australians are more deadly because everything in Australia is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anti-Flatter asks, for everyone, should they be called flat earthers, flurfers, or flatards?
I like flurfs because it's very condescending.
I do, like, in one of my videos I had the title, Is Logan Paul a Flurf? Because I wanted to add more to that title, and flurf is really short and simple. So
I mean, Random Things or Busted Sharks, one of the two of them says that they just think of Smurfs when the word flurf comes up.
I'm just going to copy this comment, and hopefully we can get this done at the end of the...
I've just seen a question from 790 that's quite funny.
But yeah, usually I actually like Greater Sapiens thing, and that's Globe Deniers. I've been using that recently. The Creaky Blinder wants Fight the Flat Earth to say, I got a brand new combine harvester.
I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key. Yeah, I've had that request many times throughout my life.
Have you heard that before, Planarwalk?
No, I don't.
Have you heard it?
No, I don't think so.
It's one of the top UK songs ever.
What was that? I think my internet went down for a second.
It's one of the top UK songs ever written. That I've got a brand new combine harvester.
I've got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key.
Okay. NZ Pure asks, I have a question. As a fellow Kiwi, did it hurt your head when you found out that there were Kiwis who were flat earthers? Yes. Like, that's how I found out about the whole flat earth thing. There was a person in class who was watching a flat earth video, and I thought that it was all a joke. And then I had a look on the internet and I found out that he was seriously a flat earther and that flat earthers were still a thing. I thought they went extinct in the in about the 16th century or something like that.
Yeah, I knew there was kind of, it was a thing, but I didn't really think anything of it until my son came home from school one day upset and crying because some kid and his dad had shouted at him for not being a flat earther. And I was like, what? People actually think that? And then that made me angry. I looked into it more and I was like, holy shit, there's actually a whole lot of people who think the earth is flat.
Yeah, and especially being in New Zealand, it's one of them things which, if you go way down the south, as I explained earlier, you can observe the sun rising in the southeast, heading north and setting in the southwest. You know, it's... I mean, explain that on a flat earth. I
mean, can you see Polaris?
No, I can't see Polaris.
No, I'll tell you why. There's a big fucking planet in the way.
Exactly. Busted Shark asks, Conspiracy Cats, will there be a Cruelty Cats channel?
Where I'm actually cruel to cats. I don't know, is that cruel to cats or cruelty cats?
I think he said cruelty cats.
Yeah, like...
cruelty cats? I thought you said a cruel to cat channel. Well, cruel to cats for like no reason. Right. Look it away last minute. Yeah, why? You know, to be honest, I'm thinking of making the Catz channel a bit of a franchise. I've got the conspiracy cats. I've got the baldy cats, which does the science for the that's like flat Earth related. But I am thinking of doing something that is not flat Earth related whatsoever, because I've opened up sort of like my own tutoring kind of business and putting stuff on there that's just tutoring stuff. So there may be, and I might just call that Catz.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know if I'm actually subscribed to your other channel. I'll have a look.
Don't bother.
Because there is a channel which I don't think you post to anymore that I managed to find one day. It's like
GTSC and L that one.
Yeah. BCDE.
Yeah, I use that when because obviously I've just come out of teaching now, but the last school I was working at, I used that for the kids. And when I started putting 1 or 2 flat Earth videos on that, I had to be really restrained because it was for the kids at school. They could all see them, the parents could see them. So that's why. Well, one of the reasons Conspiracy Cat started, so I'd have a place where I could put some stuff, and I could leave that DNA or the science for the kids. But I'm not at that school anymore, so I've handed over the password to someone else, and obviously they're not loading anything to it. So I think that'll just die out.
Yeah.
I might, to be honest, just delete it. We'll see.
I'm just going to go back into the questions. Adrian Clark says, Conspiracy Cats, pick up that acoustic and show some love. I mean, I think you've already done that.
Oh, what do you want to hear? A bit of a ballad. No, I won't play, but Fight the Flat Earth, sir. You're quite an accomplished guitarist, aren't you?
Well, I used to teach basics a lot. I'm out of tune at the moment.
I mean, I could pick up my guitar and get OBS to detect it, but
yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I stopped playing. I haven't played as much as I used to for the past few years. But my daughter is showing a big interest in learning guitar, so I'm gonna start teaching my little girl guitar as well.
Yeah. Godless Engineer asks, Conspiracy Cats, Planarwalk and Fight the Flat Earth. How are globe heads born?
Well, there's this machine. You just feed equations into it, and then it randomly generates one of us.
Okay. Yeah,
we're created to a template, and dare I say it, a perfect template.
I mean, you two kind of look similar.
Wait, if I take off my glasses, can you tell us apart?
I mean,
I've actually got my feature.
Yeah, it is very hard to tell the difference between you two when you take off your glasses.
I've only recently started kind of shaving my head because my receding hairline and grey hair started coming through, and I'm not really vain, but a lot of people started saying, "You look old." So I was like, right, getting rid of that.
Yeah, you do look a lot younger now that you've got a little bit less hair, I think. Although I haven't seen you when you had hair, so...
Right. My wife isn't too keen with it, but I'm like, well, you got to live with me, so...
Apparently Americans don't know what snogging is.
Oh, right.
Although the most I've heard about when people say snogging is in a Harry Potter book. So, anyway,
I think that's where most Americans learn their kind of British mannerisms and stuff is from reading Harry Potter.
Probably. Anyway, there's a question for all three of us from Darth Killer. Any news lately from Flat Earth models of the infinite ice plane variety?
The news is that they still don't exist.
Yeah. I find that usually when you bring up a Flat Earth model, Flat Earthers will say, "Oh, that's not a model. That we don't have a model." And it's like,
no. I think this is the one that Flat Earth Hero subscribes to, where they think that beyond the ice wall, there is a whole bunch more land.
There's a lot of. I find that there's a lot of people that believe that, but you know, it's like, yeah.
And the amount of kind of infighting between them because of their different models. You know, the Flat Earth as a whole can't even come up with even one model that works.
Maybe what we should do is just put a whole lot of Flat Earthers in a room and get them to fight it out to the death. And, you know.
Or we could.
My money goes down.
Your money's on.
Sorry, with space tourism on the way, we should get like a GoFundMe campaign to send like all the Flat Earthers to space. Not bring them back, just send them to space.
That would be an interesting trip for people. Anyway, Robin Toolstig asks, I always wondered, is there any pilot that is a Flat Earther that isn't anonymous? And there's that Bob guy, I think, but he's not a proper pilot.
Bob from Globebusters, yeah. He said that he was a twin engine rated commercial pilot, but Wolfie proved that by going through like the pilot's registry and stuff. And I think the last time he did any flying was in 1970 in like a single engine private plane or something.
Yeah. Wolfie blew that.
Yeah. I don't think that there could be any proper pilots that were Flat Earthers because they know how the instruments on their planes work.
And like a lot of things that I find that Flat Earthers bring up to, you know, prove the Flat Earth is usually using instruments that they don't know how they work. They don't know what's going on, and they say that it proves the Flat Earth when in fact they just don't understand how it works. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
that's the thing. They would take any proof and make it work for them.
Yeah. And I was asked, random question, how is your Terreo? Not that good. Like, I do know a few phrases, but I'm better at Japanese. Like,
Is that native language of New Zealand or something?
Yeah, Terreo is Terreo Maori is the native language. I'm just trying to think of a phrase. Like, I do know like the phrase "Kei te pehe koe," and that's "How are you?" And so, if someone were to ask me that, I'd respond with "Kei te pai aho."
Kei te pai aho.
Yeah.
Hey, I speak Kiwi.
But I'm much better at Japanese. Like I can ask things like "Imananji desu ka?" Or I could say "Omae wa moshinduru," which some people in the chat may know what that means. Anyway, 790 asks, Flight the Flat Earth, is the moon a man-made ball filled with helium made from the rock dug out of the Grand Canyon?
No, this was Flat Earth Jesus' theory. After telling me that I'm completely crazy for believing that the sun orbits the Earth, the Earth orbits the sun rather. He then responds to that with giants dug the moon out of the Grand Canyon and filled it with helium, and it's actually glass, and that's why there's craters because it bubbled as it cooled.
Okay.
Yeah. He also said that all mountains are actually stumps of ancient, humongous trees.
Okay, I've heard that theory before. It was actually my flatmate who introduced me to that, and me and my other flatmate were sitting there going, "Yeah, nah, it's." We know what trees are made of. We know that all these things can't be trees, and it's one of the things which the video eventually goes into full blown crazy by the end of it. But yeah, I've made a video talking about it where I apparently some people thought that I was being a little bit too harsh. Some people said, but it was just too crazy.
Well, how can you be anything but harsh with theories as crazy as that? This is the thing. They come to us and say that we're stupid for believing in the heliocentric model, but then they follow up with things like we live in a magic snow globe.
And like that's the one theory that's I think it really takes the cake for all craziness.
Yeah.
And then
what's the craziest claim you've had, Catz, that you've come across?
Craziest claim, to be honest, I think nothing that tops what you've got. The moon being a hologram, possibly, but I haven't. Yeah, nothing that tops that. Nothing out the out the normal.
I've come across two guys that were claiming that the Earth is like a Pac-Man game, where you the flat Earth map is actually right, one of the square ones, and as you go off to the east, you would just reappear in the west.
Oh yeah,
and they were convinced that was how it actually, and in that model, the sun also individually rendered for each person.
Yes.
I have just remembered a really ridiculous model that I heard once. I think it was in my first ever Chatbox Travels, and Pete Encore said, and let me get this right, something like this: the sun was a reflection of Polaris, right? So the sun wasn't an object, just reflected Polaris's light onto the moon, but the moon wasn't even the moon. It was a reflection of the sun, and Aristarchus, something like that, is a crater that was on the moon, and that was the decapitated tree of life, which was an old giant crystalline. I'm not being serious, right? So what it was a decapitated tree of life, which controlled the Earth. So Polaris reflects off the sun, which reflects off the Aristarchus crater on the moon, which then lands on the Earth, and it controls the Earth, and it fed the giant trees that were on the Earth or something like that. But I'm not even making it. He still talks about it now.
Yeah. Another crazy one was the Flat Earth Jesus again. The sun is actually an interdimensional portal that dilutes the light of God and defends it from Satan. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I'm a fan of Stargate as much as the next person, but I'm pretty sure there's no interdimensional portal in the middle of our sun.
I mean, we could send some flirts there to find out.
Yeah, but they call us the crazy ones, and then they come up with this.
Yeah. Anyway, Noxious asks, I'm worried for my countrymen. Do you know any flirts that are Dutch from the Netherlands? I personally don't. How about you two?
No. The Dutch are pretty sensible people, as far as I'm aware. I think.
Sorry.
Go on.
No, didn't Red's Rhetoric debate a Dutch woman? Was she called Betty Van Winkle or something?
Yes, no, you're right. I remember watching that on Red's channel, and she just kept constantly just denying that a model was needed and stuff.
Yeah.
He was taking her through his videos of the rockets going into space, showing that the gas dispersed more as the pressure reduced, and she was just refusing everything. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think maybe one I've come across.
And the Critical Eye asks, has anyone heard anyone call out Mark Sargent on his use of the term negative tour?
Yeah, I have heard people say about that in his speech that he did in, I think, 2017's Flat Earth conference, where he talked about how he tried to challenge a physicist with a bunch of questions. One of them was, how does Earth's atmosphere stay there against a negative torr or pressure of the vacuum of space? Okay. And he you can't have negative pressure. That's not a thing. He just didn't understand the whole concept of what he was talking about. And I would hope someone's called him out on it.
Yeah. And Mikey Cage asks, Conspiracy Catz, why the name? I'm sure you've addressed this in the past.
Yeah, I'll be absolutely honest. Right, it's not the name I would have chosen if I knew that anyone was going to watch my show. I would just create the channel, and I thought, I'll put something in for now, and I'll come back and change it later. And it was literally just the first thing I thought of, and then I just never got around to changing it, and now it's a bit too late. So literally, that's it. There was no other reason than that.
Okay. Like, I do know that when you started, you didn't really address Flat Earth. Instead, you were more addressing conspiracy theories, and every conspiracy theory eventually gets lumped in with Flat Earth somehow, except if you're Alex Jones.
Well, yeah. He's some crazy places, isn't he? I mean, what do you think of all that lizard people that because I know he claims not to believe it, but I've listened to him interviewing David Icke, and I remember an interview where he was agreeing with David Icke when David Icke said that paedophiles were kind of like a vampire version of the reptiles, and they fed off the energy of the children. And Alex Jones was sat there just like, yeah, man, yeah, it all makes sense. You know, like, I don't deny it now, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
They will literally believe anything.
Yeah. Next person asks, and this is What Jesus, and I'd just like to give a shout out to What Jesus, because What Jesus is my $20 Patron. So yes, all three of us. Would you be okay with a significant other who was a flat earther or who had ardent religious beliefs?
Nope. Sorry, couldn't do it. I'll answer that straight away. One of the things that attracted me to my wife more than anything else is that she is really smart. I could not ever date someone that stupid.
Yeah, I think that there is a point that I could tolerate it up to, but there'd be a point where I'd have to say no. And it'd probably be how much they talk about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think with me, I've got the face like the back end of a bus, so I've got to take what I can get, guys. So no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't. Not a flat earther, no. No.
You've got to have someone that you can talk to and stuff, right?
Yeah.
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 Like.
Yeah. Without every other word out of the mouth being absolute nonsense.
Because one of the things that I think would make it hard for either of us to stay with the flat earther is the fact that our YouTube channels are very anti-flat earth.
Yeah.
So, but you know, from what I can tell, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
I remember watching Nathan Oakley's interview that he had with Vice or whatever it was, and he was saying about how when he discovered it, he went and woke his wife up and was like, I went and woke my wife up and told her that the earth was flat. If I did that to my wife, I would have 2 black eyes.
Oh, man. I wonder what her reaction was.
So I think we'll take about 5 more questions.
Sounds good.
Before wrapping it up? Okay. I just saw a question and I'm just posting it in the thing. Adam Lee asks, have come across a Russian lady stating that living in different time zones means every two of the we have different month. Generally talks in a flat out hero way. Any thoughts? I think he's actually talking about a person from Team Skeptic's channel he addressed.
The sky, the time zones each have a different sky. Is that the thing that he's on about?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, I've not come across that flat earther before, and it is one of the most ridiculous theories that I've heard. She basically thinks that when you look at like a square projection map of the Earth, and you've got the 12 time zones, she genuinely thinks that each of those time zones have a different sky that you kind of have to transfer through or something.
Yeah, it makes no sense, a lot of these flat Earth claims. Yeah.
If you guys haven't subscribed to Team Skeptic, I would highly advise doing that. One of the funniest guys that I've met, and incredibly smart.
And he does a good idea of he does a good job of taking down fucking idiots, you know.
Yeah, ding.
I had to put that in there.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was. Darth Killer asks, Conspiracy Cats, where did Peter and Pete go?
Yeah, they need to come back. I've actually downloaded quite a few of their videos because I want to do some more stuff on them. But because their videos are so long, I need to sit down over the holidays and really go through them and cut them up. But they've not disappeared. They need to come back.
Were they actually flat earthers?
Now, they are flat earthers. I don't live that far from them. I live about 45 minutes from them. Or I live 45 minutes from Cheshire, which is their part of the Cheshire Flat Earth Society. And I know they do a lot of stuff. They do a lot of stuff on the streets, going out and doing like street activism and annoying people with the truth. But I think everything else they come up with is deliberate trolling, you know, like water being an element.
The way they speak don't they speak in tandem? From what I've seen of your videos, they seem to speak in tandem, don't they?
All the time, yeah. Any video, even when they're out filmed, you know, when they're not doing something on the channel, being interviewed. Or I saw somebody who met them in a pub the other day and just put a video of them chatting to them in the pub in a relaxed environment. They were still finishing each other's sentences, and I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know. I have no idea, but I would not be surprised if they weren't actually brothers and the names weren't Peter and Pete, the names something else, you know, they call themselves Peter and Pete YouTube, because they are that similar to each other, you know, with the mannerisms where they speak. I wouldn't be surprised if they were family.
Or maybe they've just got a psychic link with each other. Psychics confirmed, guys.
Flat Earth confirmed.
Maybe one's a ventriloquist.
And he's got his hand up the other's ass.
I think that's actually the more reasonable explanation. One of them's a puppet.
Wait, aren't we all puppets?
You're not meant to say that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Disregard the last sentence.
Yeah. So next question before anyone catches on. Steve, is Batman a real superhero?
Batman?
Ooh.
Batman.
I've never heard of that.
Like Batman.
Yeah, you're wearing the sweatshirt right now.
Batman or Bet? I thought you said Batman.
Batman.
Yeah. Of course Batman's a real superhero. I mean, let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen me and Batman in the same place at the same time?
I've never seen you.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of people that I've never seen in the same place at the same time, I've never seen Baldy Cats and Conspiracy Cats in the same place at the same time, so it is possible that they're the same.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow, you just blew my mind.
We don't in the same room because I can't stand Baldy Cats. He's an absolute wanker. So stay away from
Apparently DC is not a apparently DC is not a thing.
All right, Marvel girl, calm down.
Just waiting for like 2 more questions and then we'll wrap up. Come on, people, ask 2 more questions.
I'm going to get 2 questions because it's the rest of the world team quiz after this, isn't it?
Oh.
Oh, we've got a Flat Earther here. Flat Earth Preacher says, is this an episode of Dumb and Dumber?
Well, that was a movie series, so you're not going to have episodes.
I think that's actually, now that you mention that, that's a really ironic comment.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to watch Dumb and Dumber again, just go and watch Red Rhetoric Stream from last night. That was literally the biggest dumpster fire I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. And here I was thinking that the episode on the Non Sequitur show with Conspiracy Catz and Flat Out Hero was a dumpster fire.
What's a tangent?
What?
What is a tangent?
Oh yeah, and Yustava asks, is Santa racist?
Is Santa racist? I don't know. I'll ask him in a few days.
Yeah.
When he pops in.
It'll just what we'll have to do is we'll have to, you know, just stay up all night and see if we can catch him.
Catz, have you been a good boy this year?
No, I've been an no. I'll be buying my own presents this year. But what about yourself?
Getting some coal. No, I've been a horrible cunt.
And the Creaky Blinder is just asking if he should spanner the Flat Earther. And no, don't worry about it. It's only if they start being a prick that you have to spanner them, you know. And they're not being a prick yet. Not that I consider anyway. But I'm just... But yeah, one thing I was going to say is... Santa is an anagram of Satan, I think. So...
Hail Satan.
Okay, there's two more questions that we'll answer that I've got. The Flat Earth Preacher asks, do you guys watch Mag Wicked Truth?
No.
No.
I've honestly never heard of it.
I mean, if it's a YouTube channel and it's got truth in its name, I don't tend to watch it because they're normally spouting shite.
And so, Adam L asks, is it possible for you guys to record a song about last year in Flatadia?
Well, we have been talking about doing some kind of music collaboration. I think we should definitely get something on the go.
Yeah.
It'll be brilliant. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, all three of us play guitar. You know, we're all probably terrible at singing. I'm sure we could do something great.
I mean, we could get Rapid X to sing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's already one project going on that Conspiracy Catz knows about that's all coming together.
Okay, that's good. And
a nice big collaboration.
Yeah. And one question that I kind of saved for the end is, could Catz play a song for us, please?
Oh, what do you want to hear? Slightly out of tune. See if I can remember the chords for the Chemtrail song. Let me think. Right. So, chemtrails on Earth. Chemtrails on Earth. Right. So, CFA manager. Yeah, so if I could sing, then I'd sing you a song, but if you want to play the Chemtrail song, it's CFA manager. We could have a jam, but it's a bit laggy, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I usually don't pick up my guitar when someone else picks up their guitar.
There we go, bit of a jam. I don't have any of that to do.
Anyway, let's we'll finish up now. It was nice having you two along.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's actually been a real good laugh. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, ask us silly questions, because that's what I like doing. Is I like having a laugh, and next year I kind of want to move a little more into creating a few sort of memes rather than just strictly informative content. That's why I did the collaboration with Flat Out earlier. I think it was earlier this year, last month, I think.
Your FEC U one.
Yeah, and
yeah, I'm still planning to do my own entry exam one. I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah. So essentially, I do have a few plans for some videos that are not serious, and I do want to sort of move into making a whole lot of videos that aren't too serious and just having a laugh, really.
I think I'm kind of almost going the other way. My Flirfs Are Idiots series is still going to be once a week, but I'm actually going to be starting to make some more kind of documentary type stuff about scientific endeavors as well for the next year.
Okay.
I've done some brief videos on things like the Michael Morley experiment and Aries failure, but there's been a lot of requests for a lot more in depth. So as well as my normal content, I'm going to plan a series of maybe 5 or 6 like half-hour long documentaries.
Yeah. One of the things that I am currently working on is just it's kind of like you're explaining simple stuff to Flurfs, right? A series, yeah. But it's I don't know how it's different, but it's essentially where I go ahead and pick a topic like terminal velocity, and I'm going to break it down so that I'll try and make it so that anyone can understand it, but it will go into some of the slightly more complex things like how the different components of air resistance and how that matters to that. So yeah, that should be fun.
What about you, Catz? What you got coming up?
Well, we've got the quiz. That's what I'm working on at the minute. So
when's that going to be out, I think?
Well, I'm doing the team. Well, I'm doing the team rest of the world after this stream. So I think MCToon's in the chat and Godless Engineers waiting. Obviously, Planarwalk here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to edit it together. I've already started editing because obviously you've done your bit. I'm hoping Christmas Eve. I'm hoping awesome. I'll get it for you. Christmas Eve or tomorrow night. I'm hoping, and then, but I want to get a Christmas special done as well. I've not even started on that yet. So
yeah,
it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. Something's going to have to go. So we'll see.
I was actually
going to Christmas special.
I was actually going to ask, like, when you're planning on doing the Christmas special, because I kind of remembered that you had asked a few people for the Christmas special. So.
Oh. Yeah, for people to video in. Yeah, I tweeted a load of, and this is my fault again for not being organised enough, but like late September, early October, I did tweet a load of people back then and said if you could send in like a message saying Merry Christmas, I could do like a subscriber like rollout of subscribers saying Merry Christmas, and then I just completely forgot to get back in touch. So about 2 or 3 people have emailed something in, and then I just forgot to chase everyone else up. So it could be really short.
I think we're all in the Simon Dan Christmas special, aren't we?
Yeah, I am. And, you know, Conspiracy Catz is generally in Simon Dan stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in that. I'm looking forward to that. Is there anyone got anything on Christmas Day coming out?
No, I'm having a little bit less content next week, so I want to spend it on my family. So I'm probably not going to be around much over the next week. I'll probably put one thing out, but Christmas, I just want to spend it with my. This is the first year in my house with my family that we're going to be in for the rest of our lives. So I'm going to focus on my kids and family for the next week or so.
Sounds good.
But yeah,
Might you playing?
I don't really have anything on that's going to be coming out on Christmas because, as I've said, most of the videos this month are collaboration videos. Although one thing that I forgot to put in the stream, because I had taken it off here to keep continuity in one of my more recent videos, is this. I made it for the Simon.
Very nice.
Simon Dan thing. I was just showed me finishing it up, and it's actually the tinfoil hat that I had, just stuck tinsel over it. So
the Christmas tree that my kids decorated.
Oh, nice.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, it's time to end up the stream. We've been going for 2 hours, so
Thanks very much, everyone, coming along, guys.
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
So yeah, I suppose leave a like and subscribe if you like that stream. If you're watching the stream afterwards, let me, because one person did say that they want to see more of this kind of stuff. So if you have an idea of what I can do that is similar to this, just let me know. And some other things. Oh yeah, it'd be nice if everyone could join the Discord server that I've got. It's active sometimes.
I've just got that, my Discord, so I will do that.
Yeah, it's active sometimes, and Conspiracy Catz, you've also got a Discord server, but I noticed that you haven't been active lately.
Well, I'm going to be honest, and I've got a lot of apologies to make, because I've been getting an awful lot more tweets than normal lately, and the Discord server I've got, I did create a Discord server recently for the Patron account as well, and I'm going to be using that more.
Okay.
But I'm just mobbed with emails and tweets and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's just busy.
I'll go back to the outro. But yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say next. Damn it. I sometimes get that.
The Earth's not flat.
Yeah, the Earth's not flat. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, Merry Christmas.